welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. My name is Shelby. I make lifestyle content videos and book review videos, along with now wedding planning videos, which I will get more into of those later on this year. I'm very excited. As today, you could tell, today's video is basically my book reviews of what I read so far in 2023. I've always wanted to do a book review YouTube video, and I'm very excited to start my first one and give you guys my thoughts and opinions and ratings of what books I have read so far of this year. And I am currently on a book right now. I think I've read about 10 books so far this year, but I can't wait to keep continuing reading more and finding new books that I will love. And if you guys have any book recommendations for me, just comment down below of what books I should read after this series that I'm about to finish. I also got me a Starbucks drink today. I got a venti iced white chocolate mocha with almond milk and caramel drizzle with sweet cream cold foam on top, and it's so good. I was going to get the vanilla sweet cream cold brew, but they did not have it, so I kind of panicked and just customized this, and it's actually pretty good. But let's go ahead and get started with this video. Okay, one of the books I have read so far this year is called November 9th by Colleen Hoover, and I was really impressed with this book, actually. I really waited so long to read it, and I'm kind of glad I did, because this book was just so good. So many people were recommending this book to me, and I was just like, well, I'm gonna read this one first and then I'll get to it. And then I never did. Then I finally got it for my birthday last year, and then I just came around to reading it around January or February, I think. But this book is so good. I highly recommend reading this book. I would rate this book a probably an 8 out of 10. It's one of my top favorites of hers, even though I have a lot of top favorites of Colleen Hoover, but this one's definitely up there. And this book is just, I'll read the backstory and then kind of summarize from there without spoiling anything. So basically, Fallon meets Ben, an aspiring novelist, the day before her scheduled cross-country move. Their untimely attraction leads them to spend Fallon's last day in LA together, and her eventful life becomes the creative inspiration Ben has always sought for his novel. Over time, and amidst the various relationships and tribulations of their own separate lives, they continue to meet on the same date every year, until one day Fallon becomes unsure if Ben has been telling her the truth or fabricating a perfect reality for the sake of the ultimate plot twist. Can Ben's relationship with Fallon, and simultaneously his novel, be considered a love story if it ends in heartbreak? So yeah, that's what this book is about. I loved Fallon and Ben's character a lot, and their relationship together. They just had, you really just want them to be together all the time, but it was so hard because Fallon and Ben made that deal to just meet once a year, and then it gets just intense. And a lot of shocking things happen in this book, especially towards the end, that you were just not expecting. But yeah, this book is just really good, and I highly recommend this book to anybody that is wanting to start reading, or loves Colleen Hoover, or just want a good single book to read. If you are into reading, this is just a good book to read, and I highly recommend it. So yeah, that's what I've read this year on part of my reading list. And the second book I've read is called Without Merit, another Colleen Hoover book. She is my favorite author, as you could tell. I've read a lot of her books, and they are on my bookshelf as well. This book, though, I would probably rate this a 6 out of 10. It is not one of my favorite books by Colleen Hoover. It was really hard to get into this book. If you are ever interested in reading it, you should read it, but I just had a hard time getting into this book. And this book is about the Voss family is anything but normal, from the non-perfect older siblings to the little half-brother who isn't allowed to do or eat anything fun. Then there's Merit. She collects trophies she hasn't earned and secrets her family forces her to keep. While browsing the local antique shop for another trophy, she meets Sajin. He's witty and idealistic, sparks renewed life into her until she learns that he's completely unavailable. Merit retreats deeper into herself, watching her family from the sidelines. When she learns a secret that no trophy in the world can fix, fed up with the lies, Merit decides to shatter the happy family illusion that she's never been a part of, leaving them behind for good. But when her escape plan fails, Merit is forced to deal with the staggering consequences of telling the truth and losing the one boy she loves. Yeah, so this book is just, it's interesting, and I think it's a little weird. I don't know. This book is just not what I was expecting. Merit is just a very interesting character, and so is her whole family. It's a very weird family dynamic duo, and this book is just hard to get into because you're kind of used to reading relationship books of Colleen Hoover, and then this is more of a family dynamic story. I don't know. It's hard to put this into words because, like I said, it's just everybody has their own trait, and it's just weird. I don't know. This book was just not my favorite, and it's hard to have words for it because I just didn't enjoy this book so much. And I just had a hard time kind of understanding it as well. But if you are interested in reading it, it is called Without Merit by Colleen Hoover. I'm not saying it's not a good book, it's just not one of my favorites. But I also wanted to give you guys a heads up that if you have a hard time getting into it, it's okay, because I feel like a lot of people do. It's just not a Colleen Hoover book I feel like everybody's used to, but it's an okay book. So yeah. The next book is Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. I actually enjoyed this book a lot. I would probably give this book a 8 out of 10 as well. This book is about a mom and daughter duo, and basically their world just kind of crashes in this book. And then they're kind of in a struggle bus with the two of them in their relationship, and then they're just trying to find a way to build their relationship back after finding out a big secret. The mom is trying to protect her daughter from this big secret, but then her daughter thinks there's something going on with her mom, and to where they do lose that relationship with each other, and now they're trying to build those pieces back, but it's hard when the mom is trying to protect her daughter. It's a really good book. I enjoyed it because being close to my mom just has, I don't know, I just really like this book, and I do recommend it for future readers as well. But I can go ahead and read the back of it for you as well. Morgan Gray and her 16-year-old daughter Clara would like nothing more than to be nothing alike. Morgan is determined to prevent her daughter from making the same mistakes she did by getting pregnant and married way too young. Morgan put her own dreams on hold. Clara doesn't want to follow in her mother's footsteps. Her predictable mother doesn't have a spontaneous bone in her body. With morning personalities and conflicting goals, Morgan and Clara find it increasingly difficult to coexist. The only person who can bring peace to the household is Chris, Morgan's husband. Clara's father and the family anchor, but the peace is shattered when Chris is involved in a tragic, questionable accident. The heartbreaking and long-lasting consequences will reach far beyond just Morgan and Clara. While struggling to rebuild everything that crashed around them, Morgan finds comfort in the last person she expects to, and Clara turns to the one boy she's been forbidden to see. With each passing day, new secrets, resentment, and misunderstandings make mother and daughter feel farther apart. So far apart, it might be impossible for them to ever fall back together. So that's what the book is about, and I think the reason why I did enjoy it so much was because I do have a good relationship with my mom, and I just could not imagine losing that good relationship with my mom. And so I think that's what made this book just more interesting and more entertaining to read, because you can kind of relate, but you if you have a good relationship with your mom, it's just sad that there are people out there that don't have those good relationships. But no, this book is really good. I highly recommend reading this for anybody. So yeah. And another book by Colleen Hoover, Layla. I enjoyed Verity a lot by her. I would definitely rate Verity a 10 out of 10. I love that thriller romance. It was so good. Layla, on the other hand, it was good, but not what I was expecting. I would give this book a 7 out of 10 probably. I don't know. I felt like reading this, I felt like I was watching a movie. Like, I feel like you would see this in a movie aspect of kind of a horror movie, but with romance. And I don't know. It's interesting. But this the back of it says that when Leeds meets Layla, he's convinced he'll spend the rest of his life with her until an unexpected attack leaves Layla fighting for her life. After weeks in the hospital, Layla recovers physically, but the emotional and mental scarring has altered the woman Leeds fell in love with. In order to put the relationship back on track, Leeds whisks Layla away to the bed and breakfast where they first met. Once they arrive, Layla's behavior takes a bizarre turn, and that's just one of many inacceptable occurs. Feeling distant from Layla, Leeds soon finds solace in Willow, another guest of the B&B, with whom he forms a connection through their shared concerns. As his curiosity for Willow grows, his decision to help her find answers put him in direct conflict with Layla's well-being. Leeds soon realizes he has to make a choice because he can't help both of them. But if he makes the wrong choice, it could be detrimental for all of them. Yeah. So this book, it's just got that weird mystery kind of horror vibe, but not really horror. It's interesting. That's all I got to say about this book. But I do recommend reading it if you especially enjoyed Verity. This one is pretty good, but Verity does top Layla for sure, out of the Colleen Hoover books. But yeah, I don't know if I would read it again, but it's a good book. Last of what I've read so far of 2023, well, I have more books, but I'm just going to do these for now, is Crave by Tracy Wolff. I love this book. I even love the series, which is what I'm reading right now, but this book I rate a 10 out of 10. Grace, she is just a phenomenal character. I love seeing her character develop throughout the series so far. And I've also loved getting introduced to Jackson. I was definitely Team Jackson at first in the series. And then I got to the second one, and then I really started to become Team Hudson. I never thought I would fall for a different character than the original. I thought I was going to be Team Jackson throughout the whole book, but no, I'm definitely Team Hudson now. But anyways, this book I rate obviously a 10 out of 10. This book is about Grace's whole world changed when she stepped inside the academy. Nothing is right about this place or the other students in it. Here I am, a mere mortal among gods or monsters. I still can't decide which of these warning factors I belong to, if I belong at all. I only know the one thing that unites them is their hatred for me. Then there's Jackson Vega, a vampire with deadly secrets who hasn't felt anything for 100 years. But there's something about him that calls to me, something broken in him that somehow fits with what's broken in me, which could spell death for us all. But Jackson walled himself off for a reason. And now someone wants to wake a sleeping monster, and I'm wondering if I was brought here intentionally as the bait. Yeah, this book is really good. I would read this book again, and probably the series again once I finish it. That's just how good it is. If you were a big fan of Twilight and like the movies and the books, this is kind of okay. It's similar because it involves that nature, the like monsters like vampires and the wolves and all that jazz. It's really good. The ending was intense and very shocking. This book kept me wanting to keep reading it to where I finished this in a week for how big it is. It maybe took me a week or a little bit less to finish, but it's so good. I would recommend this series to anybody that wants to find a series to read and kind of want to get into fantasy. My friend actually introduced me to this book, and I love it. I'm so thankful she introduced me to this series. I'm so glad I bought it. But yeah, now I'm on the 4th book, and it's super okay. The 4th book's a little slow, but book 2 and 3 are very good as well. Just the 4th one's a little slower, but I will put these books down below of where you can get them if you are interested in reading these. But yeah, this book, please read it. I will make another video of just the series in general, but it's so good. Please just get it. But yeah, so those are some of the books I've read so far of 23, and I hope this helps you guys and gives you an idea of what you kind of want to read, or if you want to start reading, where to start. So yeah, these are some of the books I've read so far in 23, and I've enjoyed every single one so far, even though some of them are a little hard to get into at first. But I love reading, and I'm so glad I have found this hobby, and I cannot wait to make more book review videos and hopefully get a little bit better at it as well. So bear with me. But yeah, I will comment these books down below in the link of where you can get them if you are interested in reading any of these, and I will make just another book video of what I have read in general, just so you can get a bigger and better idea as well of what books are out there and like what genre as well. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I cannot wait to make more of these because I do love to read, and I love to give my feedback and opinions and ratings on the books as well. But I hope I will see you guys in my next video, and I will see you guys real soon. Bye guys.